A leader's duty and the danger of ethical fading. In this video, Simon Sinek explains about leaders' role for establishing a trustworthy bond with their followers.
As a leader, our responsibility is to make the people feel that we have their backs and actually have their backs. There's a sort of a nice anthropological, if you want me to go down this rabbit hole, there's a nice anthropological...
I find it fascinating.
There's a nice anthropological explanation, which I actually explained in that book, which raises the question, why do we have leaders? Human beings are naturally hierarchical. We self-organize all the time. It's got nothing to do with whether you have formal hierarchy, like in an organization. We're constantly self-organizing. Like in a sports team, who's the better player? We self-organize, and we pay deference to the one who is better. You know, the scientist who publishes more, or the Nobel laureate. All the other scientists pay deference, right? This is not by accident. There's a very good anthropological reason for it. Going back many years, human beings have only been farming for the past 10 or 12,000 years, but we existed for tens of thousands of years on the planet before that, and we lived in populations that were about 150. We maxed out at about 150, which raises a very interesting question. They lived in austere times. People are hungry. Somebody, brings back some food to the tribe. We all rush in to eat. Well, if you're built like a football player, you can shove your way to the front of the line, right? But this is a bad system, because if you punch me in the face this afternoon, I'm probably not going to wake you and alert you to danger tonight. And so it's just a bad system for cooperation, which is if we leave every person to themselves. And so we evolved into these hierarchical animals. We're constantly assessing and judging who's higher in the pecking order, who's the alpha of the group. And when we assess that someone is alpha to us, we naturally step back. We naturally defer and allow our alphas to eat first. And we get fed later, and I don't get an elbow in the face.
The main responsibility of a leader is to set objectives for their team members, motivating them to work with confidence and enthusiasm, and developing strategies to achieve those goals. They must also organize the group effectively, assigning roles based on individual abilities to increase productivity. Additionally, leaders must take initiatives in the team's interest and encourage innovative ideas from all members. It is important for leaders to align individual interest with the organization's objective and motivate the team towards success. Throughout history, leaders have established trustworthy relationships with their followers, creating a sense of security and protection. The role of a leader is crucial in bringing the gap between workers and management. They are responsible for communicating management policies and rules to their team members and ensuring that they understand how these policies can benefit them. Additionally, a competent leader advocates for the interests and expectations of their subordinates when dealing with management. To be an effective leader, it is essential to stay informed about workplace happenings, to identify potential issues such as employee conflicts or low productivity. This awareness enables timely and proactive solutions to be implemented. A leader is someone who is admired by everyone. It is important to have complete faith in the goals set and how they will benefit the organization and its employees. Providing resources alone is not enough to achieve great results. It is necessary to create enthusiasm and motivation among employees. Money may not be the only motivating factor for many people, as some are driven by the desire to make a positive impact on the world. It is important to observe colleagues and identify their passions, allowing them to take ownership of their work and make decisions. Assigning challenging responsibility at the right time can increase performance. Leaders should listen to feedback, both formal and informal, and use it to improve. They should also appreciate innovation, deliver on promises, set an example, stand out from the crowd, and praise publicly when reprimanding privately. To be an effective team leader, it is important to have a thorough understanding of the current situation. This includes familiarizing oneself with the team's past, culture, and ongoing projects. 3 key areas to focus on are relationships, surroundings, and individuals. By doing so, one can start their role on the right foot and address any issues before making decisions. Once a strong and shared vision has been established, it is important to gain feedback from the team and refine the values and vision if necessary. This creates a cohesive work environment for the team to strive towards.
So, talking about Mylan, it's a pharmaceutical company, was from a chapter called Ethical Fading. And ethical fading takes place when there's an excessive amount of finite-mindedness in an organization. So Mylan makes the EpiPen, which has like 99% market share. It's not the only product, but it's basically the only product. They decided to hit their very, very, very aggressive financial goals, which if they hit them, a small group of people, I think it was about a dozen people in the company, would get very rich, incentivized by the board. And so what ended up happening was they started doing things that, though not illegal, are highly unethical. They started raising the price of what is basically an essential drug for so many people. And we see this, unfortunately, we see this across pharmaceuticals frequently when they own a patent. They raise the price of the drug 500%, 800%, 1,000%, 2,000%, 5,000%. Again, not illegal, but really uncomfortable, right? And it was all driven by their own short-term desires to hit a short-term number so that they personally may benefit, completely ignoring the fact that it could kill people. If they couldn't afford to get a new batch of EpiPen because you need a new one every year because they do expire, that literally someone could die. And that's mind-blowing to me. And that's finite-mindedness. That's one of the negative impacts when finite-mindedness takes hold inside an organization, because we become so insular and think about our own success and our own benefits and literally become ignorant to the world around us. And when people accuse us, we say things like, well, we didn't do anything illegal. We justify it. Everyone's doing it. It's the system. Don't blame us.
Ethical fading is a type of self-deception that occurs when we unconsciously avoid or conceal the moral implications of a decision. This allows us to act immorally while still believing that we are good and ethical individuals. Companies that prioritize personal gain and short-term goals are particularly susceptible to ethical fading, which can lead to morally questionable decisions. However, some companies are able to avoid this behavior by prioritizing their just cause. Ethical fading happens when people become so focused on one aspect of a decision, such as profitability or winning, that they overlook the ethical considerations. If people are not actively searching for ethical issues, they may not even notice them. Culture plays a significant role in how people view challenging their elders. Some cultures consider it morally unacceptable and completely forbidden, while others are more accepting of it. Our society does not place as much emphasis on family values as other countries do, and younger generations tend to disregard the wisdom of their elders. While it may be uncomfortable to scold your parents in public, it is not considered morally wrong in our culture. The term ethics typically pertains to professional conduct rather than morality, which employs to everyone. For instance, killing someone without a valid reason is morally wrong, but leaving a high-voltage booth unlocked and unattended is unethical and only understood by those who work with electricity distribution networks. Professional ethics most deal with matters such as maintaining client confidentiality, making work easier for colleagues, and upholding the reputation of the profession. Lawyers often have to defend clients in court even if they know they are guilty. This is because their ethics dictates that they should still provide a defense and make the prosecution work for the sentence. This helps ensure that police continue to investigate crimes thoroughly rather than becoming complacent. Different cultures have their own set of moral standards, and what is considered acceptable in one culture may not be acceptable or valued in another. The oldest known moral code is Sanatana Dharma, which cannot be directly translated into English. It emphasizes a way of life that involves helping others without causing harm or expecting anything in return, as well as developing emotional intelligence to better understand the needs of others and solve problems effectively. Hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. For more videos, Like these and please subscribe.